Namaskar, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. Kathamritam tapta jeevanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam Srimadatam bhuvi grunantiye bhurida janaha. Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita Pratham Bhag Shashta Khando Tritiyo Pariched. Reading from the third chapter of the sixth section of the first volume of Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali. In our previous reading, we have seen that Sri Ramakrishna had entered Samadhi, and Sri M had beautifully described that how during the evening arti in the mother's temple, Sri Ramakrishna got into that ecstatic mood, chanting the names of gods and goddesses when the incense was burnt in his room, and suddenly he just devoted himself into the divine realm. And then slowly he started coming down to the normal plane. And just at that time, it was in the evening, some devotees from Belghoria, Govindo Mukherjee, and some other friends of his, they came, they bowed down before the master and before Thakur, and then they took their seats on the floor along with Sri M and Rakha. And then Sri M described how the nature, as if the nature was standing still, soundless, no noise, and a beautiful smile on the nature's face. With the moon coming up, Sri Ramakrishna in that deep ecstatic mood sitting in his room. It was such a wonderful sight. And then slowly Sri Ramakrishna started coming down to the normal plane for the sake of all these people, for all his children who had come to hear the nectarine words, nectar-like teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, what happens next? Sri M has given a brief background of what is further going to be dealt with, what Sri Ramakrishna is going to talk about later in this third chapter of the sixth section of the first volume of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Shamaru, form of Shama. Purusha Prakriti is going to talk, Sri Ramakrishna is going to talk about Purusha and Prakriti, the omniscient, the imperishable, and Prakriti, this creation, this perishable creation. Shiva Kali Radha Krishna Ruper Vyakha. He is going to explain, he is going to describe the forms of, the significance of the forms of Shiva, of Kali, of Radha and Krishna. And he's also going to talk about Bhakta. Who is the superior devotee? Who is the best among the devotees? And he is also going to tell us about Vichar Poth, the path of reasoning, the path of discrimination. So that is what we are going to hear during the remaining portion of this third chapter. Sri Ramakrishna Abhushto. Sri Ramakrishna still in that ecstatic mood. Slowly he has come down to the normal plane, opened his eyes, and he has seen his children, his devotees, and his most beloved Rakhal, most beloved Am sitting there along with the other devotees. So he just opens his eyes and he utters these words. Bolo, তোমাদের যা সংশয় আমি সব বলছি. What a beautiful utterance. The Lord himself is saying, open up. Bolo tomader ja সংশয়. Come up, open up all your doubts. Whatever queries you have, whatever doubts you have, আমি সব বলছি, I will explain everything. What a great, you know, occurrence. The Lord Himself telling the devotees, you tell, come out with all your doubts. I will explain everything. What more a devotee needs? And the Lord Himself is offering to remove all the doubts that the devotees have in their mind. And with this utterance of Sri Ramakrishna, Gobindo Onnanyo Bhaktira Bhabite Lagilen. It was unexpected. The Lord Himself offering to remove all your doubts, just telling them, come up, you bring out all your doubts. And then Gobindo Onnanyo Bhaktira Bhabite Lagilen. Hearing these words of Sri Ramakrishna, Govinda Mukherjee and other devotees, they started thinking now what to ask. My God, this opportunity the Lord is giving us to clarify our doubts. Now what to ask? We simple, humble people, we ignorant people, we have so many doubts. When the Lord tells us, tell me your doubt, we become confused. What to ask for? When the Lord asks us, ask me a boon of me, we get perplexed. What to ask of God? God is in front of us, ready to get rid of all our doubts. So, Govindo Onnanya Bhaktira Bhabite Laglen. They all started thinking. Then finally, Govindo, he asked, Govindo, Agga, Shama e rup holo keno? And after thinking for a while, then Govind Mukherjee, he got the guts of asking a doubt to Sri Ramakrishna. And then he asked, Weird sir, why is Shama like this? Dark complexion. Shama Erup Holokeno, why she has become the goddess of the dark complexion, Eru. Shama is always considered the form of the Divine Mother as Shama is all. That is what Shama means. Shama is a dark complexion. So Govind comes up with his doubt. The moment Sri Ramakrishna said that, come up with the doubts. Sri Ramakrishna now is removing all the veils from from the minds of his beloved devotees. He's removing all the veils and he's explaining to Govinda. He is explaining to Govinda, to all the devotees sitting there, and he is also explaining to us. Never forget it. When we read Gospel, it is not that Gospel which happened on the 22nd, things that happened on 22nd July of 1883 in Sri Ramakrishna's room at Dakshineshwar. No, these things are happening right in front of us. We are sitting in front of Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna is removing all the doubts from our mind. That is how I read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, sitting in front of Sri Ramakrishna in his room right now here. He is removing the doubts. So Sri Ramakrishna opens his, starts giving his answer to the question of why Shama is so dark complexion, why she has taken this form. Sri Ramakrishna says, Shedur Bole. It is on account of, we perceive her to be dark complexion on account of her being far away at such a long distance. That's why we perceive her. That's why we see her as dark complexion. Achhe gele, kono rongoi nai. You go near her, you go near the mother. She doesn't have any complexion. She doesn't have any form even for that matter. You just go near the mother. Now Sri Ramakrishna explains how it happens. How this distance of the child with mother gives that perception that Mother Shama is dark complexion. দিঘির জল দূর থেকে আলো দেখায়, কাছে গিয়ে হাতে করে তোলো, কই রঙ্গ নাই. Till the time we are looking at the water in the pond from a distance, we see that water has dark color. When we are looking at a pond from quite a distance, we perceive that water to be dark in color. But we go near the water. We take water in our, the joined palms, the fold of our palms. We take water from that pond. No color. We don't perceive it to be dark. That is the example Sri Ramakrishna gives. Go near the pond, take some water in your hand, and you see that it has no color. কই রঙ্গ নয়, আকাশ দূর থেকে যেন নীল বর্ণ. Till the time you are looking at the sky, it is far away. You feel sky above us, 100 feet, 1,000 feet is all blue in color. But you go up and up and up, what is the color? We feel from here, maybe if we go up 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, we will get into the surroundings which are all blue in color. But what happens when we are traveling in an aeroplane? We are 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 feet above. What happens? You look out, blueness is still up. We have come this far. We have traveled all the distance of 10, 20, 30,000 feet above the ground. But we still, when we look outside the window, we don't still perceive we are amongst that. We are in the midst of that blue color. No. What has happened? The blue color has still gone beyond. কাছের আকাশ দেখো, কোনো রঙ্গ নেই. You look that sky from going near that particular distance. There is no color. Color has still gone further. Blue color has still gone further. ঈশ্বরের যত কাছে যাবে, ঈশ্বরের যত কাছে যাবে, ততই ধারণা হবে তার নাম রূপ নয়. As you come closer and closer to the Lord, as you come closer and closer to the Divine Mother, then you start realizing there is no form, there is no color, there is no roop. পিছিয়ে একটু দূরে এলে আবার আমার শ্যামামা. And again you come back from your mother. Again, as you come away from the mother, then again, oh, it is my dark complexion mother. Move little away. Move little away from the Divine Mother, from your mother, and you start perceiving her. Oh, my mother Shama. She is the dark complexion. Then you realize her form also as you come away from her. But till the time you are with your mother, there is no form, there is no color, there is nothing. She is love personified. যেন ঘাস ফুলের রঙ্গ. That it is like the color the grass takes up of flowers that it bears on the grass. What is grass? Green color. We feel that color to the grass is given by the flowers. Then we start realizing. And we start realizing, oh, this is the color of the flowers and not of the grass. The flowers have taken the color of the grass. When we look from above, it is all grass, green. As you come nearer and nearer, then you start perceiving the reality. Then you start perceiving the real nature, like grass flowers. যেন ঘাস ফুলের রঙ, শ্যামা প্রকৃতি না পুরুষ. Now, also start asking a question. What is my mother Shama? Then this question comes in your mind. When you go near Shama, there is no form, there is no color. But as you start coming back, coming away, again that form, again that color, it starts appearing before you. And then you start asking question, is my mother Shama Purusha or Prakriti? Get that down. Shama Purush na Prakriti? Is she the Dvaita, Avyaya? Is she the imperishable Brahman, Purusha? Or she is all this perishable Prakriti with form, with name and form? একজন ভক্ত পূজা করেছিল. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, one worshipper, one devotee, he was performing worship. Worship of the god, of the image, of the idol. একজন দর্শন করতে এসে দেখে ঠাকুরের গোলায় পেইতে. One devotee who had come there to take darshan in that temple, he saw that this devotee of the mother who was worshipping the mother. So the visitor to that temple, he saw that a sacred thread was put on the image of the divine mother, of Ma Kali, a sacred thread. Now usually it is a notion that sacred thread is normally worn by the main folk. But here, on the image of Ma Kali, this visitor who has come to take darshan of the mother, he sees this fellow has put a thread, sacred thread, janeu, on the mother's neck. So, সে বললে, তুমি মার গোলায় পেতে পরিয়েছ. You have put on sacred thread in the neck of mother. How is it? Normally it is on the male deities, on the gods, not on the goddesses. Bhakti বললে, ভাই তুমি চিনেছো. The devotee, he said, oh my brother, you have understood the mother. That's why you are asking this question, that why you have put on the sacred thread in the neck of mother. আমি এখনো চিনতে পারি নয় তিনি পুরুষ কি প্রকৃতি. And then this devotee says, who is worshipping, he says, you have understood. Great, but I am still ignorant. I am yet to understand who is my mother. Is my mother a Purush? Is my mother a male? Or is my mother a female? I have not understood it yet. That is why I have put the sacred thread onto her. I don't know if my mother is male or female, if my mother is Purusha or Prakriti. What a great devotion. In fact, he has understood who the real mother is. Mother is beyond male, beyond female. This visitor had asked him, being this female deity, how come you have put, and this fellow then say, how you have put the sacred thread? And then this humble devotee says, my brother, great, you have understood, but I am still ignorant. I don't know who is my mother. I don't know whether my mother is male or a female. I don't know what form my mother has, what color my mother has. I don't know anything, and that's why I've just put the thread onto her neck. Jini Shama, Ni Brahma. Now Sri Ramakrishna explains. The one who is Mother Shama, the same entity, is Brahman. Imperishable, indestructible, indivisible Brahman. Akshara Avyaya Brahman. Jarui Roop, Tini Oru. One who has taken this form is also the formless. One who has taken form and color and name is again formless entity. One who has taken Akar, Jarui Roop, Ni Oru. That itself is formless. Jini Shogun, Tini Nirgun. The one who is with the qualities, one who is sporting the qualities of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. The same entity in reality is Nirgun, is devoid of all qualities, is beyond Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. That is the play of that reality. Brahma Shakti, Shakti Brahma. Look at Thakur's words. Brahman itself is the primordial power, and the primordial power, the primal power itself is Brahman. Obhed. They are inseparable. Satchidanandamoye or are Satchidanandamoyi. They are the one, the male Satchidananda, Satchidanandamoyi, the female projection of Satchidananda. Everything is that same entity. There is no difference. So that was this beautiful explanation that Sri Ramakrishna gave to the question raised by Govindo Mukherjee of Bilgoria. That why is it that we see Mother Shama as a dark complexion? There is no complexion. Mother doesn't have any complexion. It is only because we are away from Mother we perceive her to be dark. Like we are away from the sky, we perceive sky to be blue. Like we are away from that body of water, that lake, that pond, we see the water in that pond to be dark in color, but go near it, take the water in the palm. There is no color. That is the nature of Mother Shama. You come away. You come little further away from that Shama. You come little away from that formless entity, colorless entity, entity without any qualities. And you start seeing her differently. You start seeing Mother Shama as the dark complexion. And you start seeing Saguna in the Nirguna. We start seeing Rupa in Arupa. We start seeing Saguna in Nirguna. Brahma Shakti, Shakti Brahma Obhed. They are inseparable. They are one and the same thing. That was a beautiful answer, explanation of Sri Ramakrishna himself, not only to Yogendra Mukherjee, to Govindo Mukherjee, not only to Sri M and Rakhal sitting there on the floor in front of Sri Ramakrishna in his room at Dakshineshwar, that answer to all of us who are listening to his words. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.